officially. We have Barrett here, Barrett the Parrot from Speakeasy, from Speezy. So we're really excited. This project has their pre-sale on February 7th, and then their launch will be on the 8th. So what really caught my eye about this project, and I touched on it before I started the recording, was the community-driven aspect. So speakeasies were an entertainment lounge throughout the Prohibition stage where people would go. There was entertainment, there was alcohol, and there was gambling. So really, it's cool how these guys are building up this project. And from a community standpoint, I really do think this is one that will have a lot of hype and a lot of community support just because of how it's based and what the roots are embedded in from a speakeasy standpoint. So really, really excited. Obviously, I'm going to let you jump into the more specific technical details of the project yourself there, Barrett. But just like I said, a really exciting project to highlight to the channel. The launch and the pre-sale are upcoming on the February 7th and then February the 8th. So still early. You guys have a few days to join the Telegram. I know Barrett's running some competitions in the TG. So at the very least, guys, you should all be joining the Telegram during the AMA to keep in touch with the updates. And they have some cool competitions on their end going on. So Barrett, I will pass it over to you. You can jump into the details and introduce yourself in a little bit more specifics, but really excited to have you and the team on today.
Hi, yeah, thank you. Well, just kind of getting my screen ready. So let's see. There we go. We can have half and half here. Yeah, my name is Barrett, and member of the Speakeasy team and the manager of the project. And, for all intensive purposes, the dev as far as having the private keys and whatnot. But we do have a pretty large team. We've got several people working on our dApps. We've got partnership with HedgePay, who just had their pre-sale today, who's building our Flash staking portal. And we also have, just even another dev who's helping working on the main contract. So just a huge team. Just people that we've kind of picked up organically through the community. And that's the best thing, I can say about the project so far is just that we just have, the whole thing is community oriented from start to finish. And so that's pretty exciting. Where should we go into, where do you want to start with on the details?
So I know, obviously you guys had your original launch being Spin and have gone through a bit of a rebrand on this and are moving forward. If you go and check out the website and see the logo on the website, it does say Spin still, so everybody should be familiar with the project. And I think that's where the Spin comes from, obviously, you guys had built that up previously. So I'd just love to learn a little bit about the rebrand and kind of what you guys are doing kind of on the V2 or the relaunch with this one going forward and some of the differentiators.
Yeah, so that's a good place to start. So the Spin concept was basically it was just jackpots that it was the first one ever where when you buy into the token on PancakeSwap, it would actually give you credits into the jackpot. And they would show up on these different wheels, is like we like to call them. And so, for example, when I buy in, let's click here. Come here. The page needs a refresh here. So basically, it's the first token ever where Spin was where when you buy in, you get entered into the jackpots, and depending on how much you buy, the more entries you get into the jackpot. And so for every 0.01 BNB that you would buy of Spin, you would get entered into the Mega Spin and the Super Spin, and they both have their own little sets of rules and how they work. But they spin automatically after a certain set period of time, and the winner got paid out in BNB. And so that was the whole concept of the token. There was nothing else going on with it. And so it was kind of like, what would be cool is if we actually had some real utility and this was still there and it's just a feature of the token. So just being a jackpot token by itself just didn't feel like enough, And then we also were doing everything in BNB and everything was selling on the chart, and, people were getting rewards. And so now what the system is that people are getting reflections. The reflections are going into the jackpots. And so people are getting the payout in the native token, the Speakeasy token, which is we call Speezy, which is our ticker. And so everything is now based in Speezy and there's no more BNB rewards. So we have a lot less sell pressure on the chart, from the contract, having to convert everything to BNB. And so, yeah, essentially, instead of having just the whole token based on being spin, now we're just using the spin jackpots as a feature of the Speakeasy token. So when you enter into Speakeasy or into the Speakeasy, we could say, you're instantly entered into these jackpots. And so that's just the beginning. You've started off your experience into the token. You got to come to the DApp and you'll be able to see your wallet address and how many credits you have, depending on how much you bought. And you get to be a part of that without even doing anything. You don't even have to think about it. And as soon as the wheel spins, either win or lose. And then the winner takes all. And then it moves on and you don't have any credits. And the only other people that can win the next jackpot that starts is by buying in. So it's an endless buy-in competition that's always running. And now you have your Speezy tokens and now you're into the ecosystem and now you get to play all the other fun, aspects of the token. And yeah. Does that see what I'm saying? How
popularity.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say, I know you guys did have a lot of attention, a lot of popularity on Spin Project. I know a couple other channels, like I know Venom was pretty bullish on Spin when you guys launched last year. I remember him putting up a couple write-ups about you guys specifically. And I know Caesar put one up. And I mean, I think the initial concept is really cool. The fact that a buy-in gets you that automatic entry. And it's a great way to essentially, I mean, I know myself personally, if I have to go do extra steps sometimes, if after a purchase, like I might just not do it. So, I mean, the fact that you guys automatically have people entered in with a purchase is obviously a phenomenal way to maximize attendance in that draw, but not put the onus on the end user, which obviously, as I just said, like I'll even admit and be like, sometimes I'm just too lazy to do the extra steps if I'm busy or if something happens, right? So sometimes like making the purchase is enough and people won't do that extra step, even though that extra step is really the benefit from the purchase, right? So I love how you guys have auto built that kind of in as you purchase to be added and allocated into the draw.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is that, there's been lots of other lottery and jackpot style tokens. I wouldn't say they're jackpot style because jackpot would imply that in a jackpot, it's like I could put in $10, like, and you could put in $1, and that would say I have, 10 times the chance of winning that you do, but you could still win, and you can take, the $11 pot, and I have a more likely chance of winning because, I have $10 in it. But, the more people that contribute to a jackpot, then, the winner takes all, and that's kind of fun. Typically, the way that lottery tokens have been working in the past is that anybody who holds over 1 million tokens or 2 million tokens is entered into the drawing. And so your drawing ends up being throughout all of the holders. And so basically you just buy the token and, you kind of wait. And typically the contract isn't doing the lottery draws. It's going to be, sometimes I've been seeing it a lot lately where they just take a set percentage of the taxes and they're like, you have to be live here on the stream and, on our video or, voice call, and we're going to pick a winner. We're going to, put it in the Excel spreadsheet. And if you sold in the last 24 hours, you can't win. And all these levels of sort of complication.
100%.
And it has nothing to do with how much you just bought in recently, and therefore that's what makes that part pretty cool is that the more that you bought, the more chances you have of winning. And so I'm showing on my screen, we have, a B&B version of the game where people can just connect their wallet and throw B&B into it, and then it'll spin in 25 minutes. So if anyone wants to check it out, I was going to give at least an extra whitelist spot to anybody whoever wins this. And then we'd probably even throw an extra $100 on top of that for the winner. And so given those odds, I'll just bet 0.01 B&B. And so let's see here. It's going to go to my MetaMask. And this has nothing to do with the tokenomics. This was literally just a game. We're probably going to end up switching this to use the Speezy token But in the meantime, it's just, since the Speakeasy token is not live, we have it set up just with BNB right now. So, and then it's kind of cool. There's a whole bot system, a Telegram bot in our channel that's going to say, oh, this wallet address just bought this much, the wheel's spinning in 25 minutes. And it's very similar to how the rest of the game works. So now I can see here, there are 3 bettors in here, and I'm just this little tiny slice. And so I can see I'm color coded over here. I'm white, and then we have orange and pink. And the more and more people that get in, it's going to just do different gradients in between them. So it ends up kind of almost like a little piece of art. You know, how beautiful the wheel ends up looking with, hundreds of bets on it. That's one of my favorite things, just because how that works. And people will notice, like, there's a cool noise.
We get that, like, when Caesar does some of his VC giveaways with, like, the whitelist contest where like there'll be hundreds of comments in the post and he has to pull all the names and add them onto the random wheel. Like, the random wheel looks insane when I've been in his VC and he does that spin. Like, you can't even see the name. The slivers are just so tiny. It's just a bunch of different colors, but then there's some, like, black lettering in the middle of them. So it's really, I completely, like, and people love the spins, right? I mean, I just think the concept of seeing the wheel rotating and then a winner getting selected, like, that's just something that people have always enjoyed. I mean, look at the Price is Right. Like, the Price is Right, like that. The big wheel at the end was like one of the funnest, like one of the best parts, right? You just go around and everyone's like, oh, is it going to go? Right? So it's just like that concept of just exactly like it's so fun. And even if you're not, are you guys going to be, as the wheel spinning, is there a way that you guys could, like, screenshot it into, like, the Telegram group, be like, wheel is live, and then, like, have, like, a little feed running or something, just so that way people could see it actively open and, like, kind of be like, oh, that's awesome, like, watch the wheel and then, like, celebrate with the winner kind of thing.
Yeah, so the super spin is every week, and so every week we call it, we have, like, the spin party, the super spins party, and we'll be there for like an hour before. We have 5% of the wallet is set up for giveaways, so we're just like giving away tokens. We're just like, it's just all hype and whatnot, and we're just waiting for the countdown to happen. So right now, this little one, we're doing this in 23 minutes, but like the super is every week, and so there's just a whole big old voice chat party centered around that, and that's how it was, and that's going to continue to be that way. And then the mega spin is kind of cool. It spins every day, so there's even a daily event on that. There's a little bit to keep the jackpots big, and the mega spin, there's some interesting little extra rules and stuff in that one. Whereas the house can technically win, and it has 90% chance of winning on the first day, and it drops to 85 the next day, and 80, and the money just keeps carrying over and stays in the pot. So that's way it'll calculate right over here in the top right where it says mega spin. It's actually, so it's designed so that it just keeps building up and building up and building up. And so, let's say in 10 days, if the odds are much better than a real person is going to win, then that builds the buy pressure up, like, because it's now been building up for those many days. And that's so you can have a cool spin every day, like, and then you can also still have the weekly spin. So when you buy it, you're entered into both. Yeah. And so it's cool here when you hold your mouse over on it, it'll show the wallet address that's connected to it, and it'll highlight you over here on the bet list. And so when we launched Spin, actually, what happened is we ended up having like 500, people buy in right at launch. So the bet list had 500 different wallets on it, and the page wouldn't load. It took about 10 minutes because each one was doing a different request to the blockchain, on the node request. And because it is completely decentralized, this is just basically reading off of the smart contract, which is really awesome. But yeah, it had major issues loading, with that many bets in it and individual wallets. So what we ended up having to do is cache everything from the blockchain to a local database, so just to display it. And so now everything goes into the database and just it can load and handle, the intense volume that we expect at launch and moving forward. And so that's like one of like the major reasons why it's just going to be so exciting to relaunch. And what's also changed is that we used to have the 100% of the taxes that we have a certain tax for mega spin and a certain tax for the super spin. And 100% of them were going into the pot at once. And so now we have a perpetual jackpot system that we want to call it, where 33% of it goes into the active game. And then there's the other percent is in reserve. And so as soon as somebody wins, instead of it starting back at 0 and waiting for new cells to populate it, we actually have a system where it'll take 50% of the reserve and then re-put it into the pot. And so it will always have, a starting balance. And that's going to, I think, make a big difference as far as the excitement and whatnot goes. So, yeah. Yeah. And so now we've kind of talked about the spin, and that means that this is just the fun part of getting into the token.
Well, yeah,
there's a lot more going on now.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that's just kind of like as you guys started it and what the origin story is. But what you guys are building up now in terms of the overall ecosystem, and I'm really excited to get into obviously learning a little bit more about the parlay that you guys are going to be bringing in as well. Because, I mean, I think on P2P and like peer-to-peer side of things, like that's really where the future is kind of going, I do believe. So I love that you guys are implementing a secondary asset into the ecosystem there for Speakeasy. So I'd love to maybe I'd love to have you just kind of go through a little bit more into the parlay. Because I know you kind of covered off the mini game that you guys have right now going on with the small wheel spin. But I would love to go into a little bit more about the future.
Of course. Yeah.
Coming into the ecosystem there.
Yeah. And so, right. Yeah. I've got a little thing I got to fix here. It's got it's for some reason I'm having to refresh it. When you place a new bet, it's adding to it, but it didn't refresh right there. So what's really exciting about this whole system now is that, we've created the whole parlay sports betting DApp, and it's not necessarily just sports, but it's going to primarily be mostly sports. Because that's actually, why so many people that are coming outside of the BSC space to come and buy the token. A lot of people's friends and family are jumping on at launch and jumping in on the white list because what they want is they want to be able to come and do 0 fee betting. Like there's 0 fees, and that's what makes it, before we get all the regulation questions and whatnot, which I'm sure the community is going to ask. But there's 0 fees, so we're basically just supporting peer-to-peer betting. And so there's a really unique bet matching system where everybody bets in increments of the minimum bet, and the more minimum bets, I guess, that your bet covers. So let's say I bet a B and B. If the minimum bet is 0.1, that'll give me 10 bets on whichever team I pick. And so we're using a regular spread system as well. So if one team has a 90% chance of winning, they're going to have to win by 40 points or something. And so we're using the same spreads that they would use in Las Vegas or any of the other websites are using. And so that allows it so you could put $100 on team A or team B, and you still technically have a 50% chance of winning on either, because that's how it's all set up. And by each wallet address getting matched up against each other, it simulates as if it was completely peer to peer, and that makes it we're just providing that platform for people, and they it's all in the Speakeasy token. So you need the Speakeasy token to play and to bet, and we'll be focusing on 1 or 2 big games every day, whether it's soccer, football, hockey, and any sport you guys can imagine. And then we can also be betting on how is this token going to rug? Is this launch going to break this many X or not? And just whatever is the community is feeling and whatnot, we just go and enter it into the smart contract. It'll show up on the DApp, and then the betting begin where people can do it. And then as soon as that game starts, you can't bet anymore. And then people are just all in chat, going to be hyping it up and going crazy. And then in the end, we just go and enter who, we put in the score, and depending on the set spread or the percentages that, are in there, then now the winner will be able to go and click the withdraw button and pull out their winnings. And then in the future, there's a parlay option to parlay it into the wheel.
It's really cool. I like what you talked about regarding some of those less sports-based bets. That's kind of just really interesting, right? Because I mean, I've heard we had a project on. It wasn't the same concept by any means, but it was more so of just like it was a project for like a cat token, and like one of their selling features was like they're gonna get traders to go after projects that were like based on dogs. So like I just think it's really cool that you guys as a community have the infrastructure built up from like the betting side that you're going to be able to make it like and you should know, being the one focus, you know that people who like to gamble and bet literally will bet or gamble on anything sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So I think the fact,
That
like,
is
I
the
have a
truth,
buddy
my
who
friend.
I wish he was not doing his fire training this weekend because he's a huge gambler, and this project would literally be like, I'm going to have to send him the AMA after we're done to listen to himself because this project is like right up his alley. And I think the fact that you guys are also bringing that crypto fun in there with like, oh, we can bet on projects or bet on this and that and see how different hype projects perform off launch. And it's just really unique. I think that's the one thing that I haven't really heard of that outside of, I
Yeah.
mean, there are obviously other betting and other gambling projects in the BSC space and the Ethereum space, just in crypto as a whole. But I think what you guys are doing with the old timey vibe in terms of the speakeasy being very community, very lounge driven, and the fact that you're going to be able to have those like fun, if you want to, if there's 5 projects launching around a similar time on a weekend or something like that, have a pool about which ones you think would be the most successful. Like, it's just really unique what you guys are going to be able to do. And I think the fact that it is so driven based on those community polls and the community support, what they want to do is obviously allows for a better chance at success, because if you're getting your messaging and your objectives derived from the community and you're following those, they're going to be much happier likely with the outcomes, and then obviously buy-in, word of mouth, and that type of organic marketing will be more likely to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, where we're going with it in the future, right now, it's going to be just based on Team A versus Team B. But the next thing that we're doing, right after the parlay launches, it was going to launch. We're going to launch it 2 days after the launch, so it's planned to launch on the 10th. So it'll be right in time for the Super Bowl, and so a lot of our advertising is going to be directed towards the Super Bowl, and you're able to target the markets a lot better. For example, like Facebook targeted ads, you can be able to target people that are into Binance Smart Chain, into crypto, and into the Super Bowl, and who are into sports betting.
I have a feeling the ad cycle for this year's Super Bowl is going to be unlike anything anyone's seen before, in terms of the types of projects. So, like, my girlfriend works in advertising, and she's just saying that the amount of money that is being spent from a crypto standpoint on advertisements, it is pretty insane. Like, the typical, markets that you would see advertising during the Super Bowl have been kind of out or overrun by crypto specific projects this year. So I've heard there's some big, obviously you guys know Staples Center got his name rights rebranded from crypto.com. Coinbase runs a ton of, if you guys are NBA fans, Coinbase runs a ton of digital ads on TV in the United States for every market. So, the real world advertising from crypto projects is becoming more and more prevalent. And I think what you guys are doing with the targeting of obviously huge, like the Super Bowl is like the number one most bet on, like, prop bets. Like, what color is this national anthem singer going to be wearing when they come out? Like, every bet, every prop bet, everything imaginable. You could literally bet on anything about the Super Bowl or the lead up or the after fact, the halftime show. Literally, you can bet on anything. So the fact that you guys are going to be kind of gearing up and ramping up around that time is really exciting, because that is, like I said, it's the most heavily bet day, I think, probably in the world, at least in the United States.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's truth. It's truth.
It's true. Yeah. And so it's going to be really awesome. You have zero fee betting, you're investing into a new token that, and we just kind of have an endless ramp where we can just keep going up and up and up. And so, what we feel is like, the people that are coming in, they want to bet on the Super Bowl. It's like, why would you go and sell right away? You can take it, your money, you're going to be able to keep playing into the next games and the next event, and just, and just so you win and your, value is increasing as well. So yeah, in the future, like right after, we're going to be adding the tournament support where we can do more than 2 options. And so it just kind of has an ever evolving roadmap. There's just so many things that we're going to be able to keep adding to that DApp. That's just going to be really exciting. And just the fact that it's 0 fee and, that means we're not taking a bookie fee or any of these sort of things. And that we're just focusing on 1 or 2 games and maybe a couple extra side bets within those games. So it's just a really big day in the community. It's not like, it's so even if you're not involved in sports betting and you're not, and you don't care, I mean, you're going to care about being in the token because the community is going to be you're going to have hype and voice chat. You just have constant hype. And isn't that what is so exciting, when you're a part of a token that has hype, Yeah.
And I think with the type of community it is, because like I said, three times, I think, throughout, speakeasies were one that was based on a community feel. And I mean, it was during Prohibition, right? So there was obviously that level of trust amongst the members that you weren't going to go out and tell on another member that, hey, they're doing this, right? So I do think that the origin story of Speakeasy as a name is really, really cool. And it's really,
thank you.
It's a great representation of what you guys are looking to build out long-term, being that it's a community-driven, fun environment. Hype obviously is there, if you guys saw Speakeasies back in the day, it was the roaring 20s, right? It would be that picture where it was all quiet and then you go to that room in the back and it was just the loudest thing you've ever heard. Music, piano, dancing, shouting, gambling, right? So that type of vibe and that type of environment is super important to the community. And I think with what you guys are building up, if you can get that underlying message to kind of hit and the community to buy in, it'll be really, really exciting long term. So it's a great time for everybody to be learning about this. Like we said, it's the 7th and the 8th when you guys have your pre-sale and launch. So still a couple days out. And with the Super Bowl around the corner and kind of with your origin story, I do expect, especially being 0 fee, that it's just something you don't see that often. And I mean, people might.
I don't know if we've ever seen a 0 fee betting platform.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Right? And the fact that you guys have multiple ways to engage with your community on the betting side. You have fun mini games. You have the little mini wheel. You have your big wheel. And then obviously the biggest piece will be your parlay and your betting DApp with the peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the biggest community driver, I think, for the project.
Yeah. And we kind of joke it's the best kept secret on BSC. And, it's clearly not a secret. We're going around doing the AMA tour. We're going to be doing heavy advertising on a lot of these things. I'm coming right out front and doing video, and I'm completely doxxed and all of these things because in the end, we're just it's the same as having an office betting pool, or you guys are coming over to my house and we're all just throwing $100 on each team and whatnot. But now it's completely decentralized, and there's no way to steal said funds. So there could be millions of dollars in the smart contract, and if you put so much money and you didn't get your bet matched, because it's going to be first come, first serve. It's going to fill up there's $10,000 on team A and $20,000 on team B. So the first 10,000 is going to match. And so now there's an excess on team B that needs to be matched by somebody. And so people come in and they'll bet on that side just because they want action. You're not going to keep putting action on team A because what's going to happen, the more, if there's too many bets on that, then those people are just going to be able to withdraw their funds. It's almost like a pre-sale being canceled. Once the game starts, it's your bets weren't matched, so you can withdraw it because the house isn't actually putting up money to cover your bets and whatnot. You have to have, an equal balance. So I guess when I say that, it's that's just what, makes it so cool in that aspect where it really is the peer-to-peer, and you don't have to worry about how is the house making money? How is it doing this? It's I don't know. We don't care. The smart contract is doing it, and it's completely secure. And so, that's the value of, it just uses the Speakeasy token, and that's why you need the Speakeasy token. And so I don't know. That's the utility. It's pretty cool. And clearly, it's not a secret, but we don't want to go around and start telling everybody, don't. No, don't snitch. I'm just kidding. So
speaks into that the whole concept of the speakeasy, right? To begin, right? It's based on trust.
Yeah,
Trust.
yeah, exactly.
So the fact that you guys are putting this information out there, it's really exciting to see. And I mean, obviously, with the concept you guys are building, there's probably going to be some duplication. I mean, people will probably try and copy what you guys are doing. It is BSC after all. You guys know it's the land of copycats. But I think what you guys are building up, there's going to be so many barriers that they'll have to try and go through to get to your stage and to get to that level. That's what is impressive, and then that's what is obviously super exciting. And on our end, at least from my side, looking at a project and looking at as many projects as I see in a weekly basis, I mean, barriers to entries is always one thing that I look at, and the fact that you guys have been established, have taken a run, decided to go with a rebrand with a bit more long-term utility and then drive that community engagement factor more is really, really enticing from the outside looking in. So I do think what you guys are doing is obviously great work. And I think the concept as a whole, just like the underlying community aspect is going to be what really pushes this thing.
So then what we've even just decided to announce is like, there's one thing that, in the land of copycats, there's a lot of tokens have, I'm not sure a lot have them, but, a complete poker platform, right? Because while we're sitting around and betting or waiting for the game to start, we just were like, we all love playing poker. And, we want to be a much more inclusive community that's always on voice chat, teaching new players how to play poker. So we're actually going to be not at launch, but within the first 3 weeks, we're going to be bringing out a completely zero rake poker platform. And so that's like definitely something that we just license and whatnot, but it's completely played with one-to-one with the Speakeasy token on the tables. And, just you can play from your phone, you can play through your computer, we can do, you can do sit and goes, you can do table games, and then you can also have tournaments. So we're going to focus on having at least 2 or 3 tournaments a week and just really just being there, having, mostly be playing the low stakes games because I see a lot of the other tokens people are playing high stakes. So we want it to be inclusive and I don't want to alienate people. I mean, I have a passion for playing poker. So we're going to be playing poker at the Speakeasy. It's just going to give me, all this more reason to be always hanging out on voice chat. One thing that my community probably knows me from is like I'm constantly on voice chat. I know most of these people have been doing voice chat probably for like the last 6 months. And it's just one of these tokens that has a reputation of being so safe, and 100% of the marketing fund gets spent on marketing. You don't have to worry about any questionable like ethics and these sort of things. And so if anyone even copied exactly everything that we had, I still wouldn't trust them, just because I can only trust myself. And the longer that we stay at it and stuff, people are going to realize, this is like one of the safest investments that you can make, regardless of whether or not you play poker or this or that. It's one thing we like to talk about. It's like you could, a lot of people invest in marijuana stocks, right? And I would say 50, 60 probably % of them don't even smoke marijuana, but other people do. And so that's kind of my answer to when people come in and say, well, why should I invest in this? I don't play poker. I don't like betting on sports, and I don't gamble. Okay. Well, we're actually going to also be having more mini kind of games, that are more tailored to just everybody. Like maybe it'll be chess, maybe it'll be checkers. There's a lot of things in the works right now. Our dev team is, we're just really focused on getting these products completely perfected. But one thing we don't have to worry about is the poker platform. That's something you just pay for. But the thing that we're going to do different is just have much more of the community aspect. So the thing with these other platforms is, hey, I go on and there's nobody to play with. And so we're always going to have people to play with and people to help, and, just going to be pretty amazing. So that, I don't know, the poker could be the token all by itself, but that's just going to be another feature, just like when you buy in, you have those wheels. There's just a lot of things to do with your token. And what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think the poker aspect is cool. So personally, I'm not like the biggest gambler in the sense of like I don't understand the point of slots and like just spinning a machine. So like I only play games of skill versus games of chance when I'm at a casino or doing anything involving gambling or betting, and I'll be like that guy who will go to the casino, and if it's a wait, I'll put my name down on the list for a table, and I will wait like that 3 hours or whatever, because like that's the only game I want to play is poker.
Yeah, poker's not gambling; it's a sport, right?
Exactly, it's a sport, and it's your own. Essentially, you get to make your own decisions. That's what I like. It's not anything to do. I mean, there's still chance involved, obviously, in terms of the cards you get, your ability to bluff,
for sure,
bluff and read another player, and their ability to actually like act on your bluffs. But in terms of what it is as a whole, you have most control.
Yeah. 100% agree. I mean, that's what you're going to see. I mean, you're not going to see the exact same people always at the final table at the World Series of Poker, but like you have to have the skill to get there. But on the way, oh no, check out my screen.
Oh, it's moving.
Yeah, my laptop is lagging like crazy. I don't know why. There must be. Oh, there's an update pending. Gosh dang. I just did so many updates. I'm surprised there's another one. So what now? We can see the address that one.
Like you got to update it.
Yeah, it's just on it. Yeah, I should have woke up earlier and done it. I was just on it like all day yesterday and everything. So now this address now just won this 0xAFB. You would see in our Telegram, the bot would have said, "Hey, look, this person just won this much money, and they only bet at this amount of money." So if we look at this address, it was 0xA. So yeah, they had 5 cards. They had a 41.67% chance of winning. So they had pretty good shot of winning. But I've seen it where we had, one pot where there was like, I don't know. I think at the time it was towards the end of like where we're kind of getting ready for the relaunch. It was the final spin. So everybody was just putting their shot in. There was like 2.5 B and B in it. And it was actually one of the team members, Cam, who won, and he bet he bought 0.01 worth of spin. So he put $5 in and he won 2.5 B and B. So he had like 0.1% chance of winning on this spin, and he did. And so anybody can win. That's what's fun. So depending on who this 0xAFB is, you just won 0.188 B and B is what you were paid out. That's automatically in your wallet now. You'll see it there. And I'm going to send you an extra $100 in BUSD. So thanks for playing. And a whitelist spot. I'm going to add the address to the whitelist as well. Yeah. So
yeah, we have, as I mentioned, they have the whitelist contest right now going on in their channel for the pre-sale as well. I think we're going to maybe try and give away a couple spots for like participation and like good questions and stuff throughout for anybody at the end. So just something to keep in mind. And I think really what these guys are building, obviously Caesar had a good history with Barrett and the team, and they were originally launched on Spin. And I know, like I said, a couple other big influencers that I know were very bullish on this project, just talking to them personally. So it's really exciting to see this. I know like you guys have been working on it for quite some time, man. So it's just really nice to see everything start to roll out and come to fruition, right, for you. So I think it's a really exciting time. I mean, you guys are really ramping up the AMAs. I think if people have a chance to go and look at the website and the Telegram, they should understand there's a huge market for this globally in terms of betting and gambling. What is it, like a multi-billion dollar, like some crazy amount globally every year is actually wagered online and through like betting sites. It's actually ridiculous. I think I don't even know what the number is, but if I had my buddy on the AMA here, I could get his opinion. He didn't know the number. But it's pretty crazy to think. And I mean, with the level of support and with the community you guys are building up, you guys are pretty well positioned to be one of the successful players in this space. I mean, obviously, there is room in BSC for projects who focus on similar things to coexist properly. You guys just have to find your niche. And I think with what you're building in terms of like the lounge aspect, being that what a speakeasy is just a fun, engaging environment and community, that will be, I think, really what kind of helps separate you guys. And the biggest differentiator will be within your name and your community and what you guys are looking to build up. So it's really exciting. And that's the first thing that caught my eye, is the name and the backstory about Speakeasy.
Yeah. And, it doesn't translate to Europe as well. And so it is nice that, we're really, focused on educating people on what is a speakeasy. And I'm so glad that, you're making it like very clear to the people out there, because it isn't really, it's kind of North America centric term.
You got to watch that movie Lawless pretty much to figure out what it is. That nice one with Shia LaBeouf and Hardy there. But yeah, like that's something that I really wanted to highlight, and it really made me excited, to be honest. And I said that very first thing I said was the fact that it was a speakeasy is kind of what drew me in to the project and wanted me to learn more, because it's a really unique name. It's very on brand. I'm going to give you guys that. It's a perfect representation of what you're looking to build out. And I have a marketing background. That's what I went to university in. Like, that's what I studied, is real world connections and marketing. And why do I think something will translate, and why do I think things will take off and connect with people? And I mean, obviously, as education keeps growing, and I know you guys have a ton more AMAs planned, it's just really exciting, I think, for people to buy into this, because you have so many zero fee pieces in your ecosystem that are not available in other gambling or betting platforms on not only on BSC, just in general. Like, you use Bet365, you have to pay a fee, right? So
and you pay a fee, and you're just going on there and placing a bet. You don't have a community. You're not on voice chat. People aren't like, maybe illegally streaming set games and whatnot in the voice chat and talking about the scores, and you're just not going to have that hype factor. This is like going to a Super Bowl party, but in Telegram, and while we're all at our own Super Bowl parties and whatnot, everybody's going to be on their phone, just instead of like texting your group of friends, you're like in the chat, you're like, oh, touchdown and stuff. Like, the hype has already been building up, where so many of these guys are just in there just talking about every single game that's happening. And it's just like communities have been forming around even before the betting dApp was even live. And so I'm just so excited, because it'll be like, oh, now I care about cricket. Now I care about other things that I might not have necessarily been interested in. But if that's what's hyped in the community today, then I'm going to bet on one of the sides, right? Just throw some Speakeasy tokens on it on either one of the sides. It's just going to be, a lot of fun. I'll probably just go do my research and be like, which teams? And I'll look at the spread and I'll say, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. It's like, the spreads are set up, where it's really a 50-50 on whether per team you bet on it. And then, when you do win, you feel like you accomplished something. And if not, you'll just be like, oh, I can't believe that guy choked. There's the human element. It's just, I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun. But there are even more aspects of the token that I think have never been seen before, that I before we run out of time, I want to, I think we should cover some, and it's like, wait, and then there's more? Yeah. There's a couple extra things that are really unique about the project on top of all of this, which, it's probably getting a little bit too crazy at this point, but it's really meant to just be this ultimate mega token. And that's why it's taken so long. But, when I do anything, I definitely am in it for the long term. And I just want to have just this ultra successful project and just really just make it like, it's an offer you can't refuse, to come in and invest in this early. And I imagine, we're going to have the pre-sale is probably going to fill pretty quickly, but, don't be afraid to buy at launch, because it definitely we have so far to go with everything. So if you will, I think when we're going through this, I want to talk maybe about should we talk about the tokenomics, or should we talk about the flash staking?
Man, like I cannot wait. Like I don't know. Do you have a Discord channel already that you guys are building up?
No, we have not set it. It's like one of the social medias that we haven't set it up. I mean,
we need one too
on Discord.
We need one too, and that's my next focus. Is I think we have the domain, but like we haven't had it. I think we got 3 people in there or something, because like we literally don't have any time to do it. I was just curious if you guys. I definitely think somebody on the team, if they have some time, should go get a Discord set up for this project, because just the type of open forum discussion, and you guys could run separate like sub threads and sub channels through in your own Discord for the different games or the different bets and the different types of pools that are going on. I definitely think like a Discord for you guys would be huge.
Pretty
so
important.
I would say that would be kind of the next social. If you guys are going to make any additional pushers, I would say Discord would definitely be the next area to focus, just because of how much flexibility you can have within the community.
It'll be a good problem when our Telegram is just way too much chat and hype and stuff going on. And I think in the beginning we're gonna, we will set up. I think we should. I'm gonna, I'll go after this. I'm gonna ask one of my team members who wants to go manage the Discord, because in the beginning we just want to have just an overload of hype and whatnot in the Telegram, and then it's going to be a really fun problem to have where it's like, all right, guys, now we need to migrate some of the stuff over to here,
we've seen a couple other projects that we've worked with that have been going on for a month and a half, and they've kind of just gone about the process of kickstarting and building up their Discord, because as the community is growing, it just allows you to run different subsections of conversation, and those people who are, the ones who want to focus on the chart or the growth or that can focus on that. The people who are more in it for the community can focus on that. The people who are in it for the wagering and the actual like betting side of it, like that, I think is where you're going to have a lot of active discussions. And like you said, you can stream the games, you can have the conversation about it, going on live, chatting. It's like watching a game with your friends. It's really unique. So I think just the ability to obviously sub-segment that further will be huge. It's down the line, but I think that's definitely will be an area, if you guys can ramp that up, will allow the community to focus on what they want to focus on within the project, because there is so many different things you guys are bringing to the table.
Yeah. So now I'm actually getting, everybody's like saying, I'll help with that. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. And aren't you already said, Barrett, you're going to live stream the games and everything like that.
I didn't say that. I said there might be somebody else might be doing that, man. No, I'm definitely not going to be illegally streaming anything.
That's smart. You don't want to. Yeah. You don't want to put that.
Yeah. If somebody else wants to come in, like share their screen or whatever, I can't stop them. So, And so, okay. So very exciting. What's in it else for other investors when they come in? How are they going to have fun? So we actually created this thing called flash staking, right? And I don't know. I think HedgePay's been making waves lately. We're just like their first partner, and we've actually they've created us a custom flash staking portal per our specifications. Like we created this concept of flash staking, and I'll be happy to share that on my screen now for you guys. Okay, have you heard of HedgePay yet? I think not sure if they did the AMA with you guys. They just had their pre-sale today. But they did make some serious rounds. If
you want to make a connection, I'm always willing to learn about a new project, especially one. Yeah. If you guys are partnered with them, I think they're obviously probably a pretty good project. So definitely would be interested in having that introduction. But I'd love to learn a little bit more about what they actually do and how they're going to help with the flash staking.
Yeah. So here's because everyone see my screen here, I've got the Speakeasy flash staking portal here. I just have to apologize. Yeah, everyone's going to be so mad at me because they're like, this happened before. They're like, I'm sorry, Windows just keeps throwing updates at me. It's crazy. I didn't expect it to do it overnight like this. But there's a flash staking. The concept is pretty simple. We have a 10% of the token. 10% of the token supply is set to flash staking, and it will at over 8 weeks. If we're actually going to give away that entire 10%. And how do you do that? But we're gonna give it away in 1 week pools. So there'll be 8 separate weeks, and there's a 24-hour cooldown in between them. So you can see here, we have round 1 out of 8. So this will be the first pool, and it's gonna start in 3 days and 21 minutes, or 3 days, 21 hours and 4 minutes, and 54 seconds. And so as soon as the timer runs out, you are going to you're going to go and click lock, and then you're going to be able to put in the amount that you want to lock, and you can lock up to 10 million tokens. So you're going to be able to lock up to 0.1% of the supply, per person. And the maximum that can be locked is 690 million tokens. So what we're going to do is we're going to see, where is it? The round fill percentage. This down here is going to actually be like going up super quickly. And as soon as it's filled and there's 690 million tokens total staked, it's closed and you can't get in. But the people who did get in are now enjoying 1,000% APR, and they're just locked for a week. If they want to unlock, they could pay a 30% penalty, but that's kind of silly because you're getting 1,000% fixed APR. And so it's actually a game within the whole ecosystem here where you're racing to get in. It's going to be highly contested. And after 1 week, you're able to withdraw your tokens, and there's a 24-hour period. And then phase 2 starts. And so we'll have 8 different weeks, with 24 hours in between. And then at the end, it's over. We're not a staking utility token, but we do have this promotion running basically for the first 8 weeks to just help build the community and just get something people to be more hyped about. And it's like, what else are we going to do with this 10%? I could have 10% extra in the dev wallet, or 10%, I could just burn it. But instead, let's just distribute it and have a lot of fun. And yeah, it was completely custom made for us. And one of the cool things is that other tokens will actually be able to go and purchase this from HedgePay and also be, launch with flash staking on their own as well. And so it's pretty cool. Pretty amazing.
Really cool. Yeah, it's a really unique concept, actually.
Yeah. Just because it was like we wanted to partner with them, and they wanted us to use their staking. It's just like I've known them. They're all docs to me, and I know their whole team, and we've been kind of partnered and friends-wise for like many, many months now. And so that's kind of really cool that, they're actually launching on the same day. I mean, unfortunately, they just filled their pre-sale like within like 10 minutes earlier today on Pink Sale. But yeah, they have a launch pad, and they have tons of really cool things. I don't want to, yeah, go buy that. Don't buy this. I'm just kidding. But the flash staking, yeah, it's just really, really cool. And this is like completely working. It actually is ready to go live exactly in this amount of time. And so, yeah, just turning it into a game. And so, if everybody staked the maximum amount allowed, which would be that 10 million tokens, and at launch, one BNB is going to be worth around 10 million tokens. So let's say we 5X, and now the staking starts. You're throwing in 5 BNB basically worth of tokens if you want to do the max. In 1 week at 1,000% APR, you're actually getting 18% return. So that's almost a free BNB per person who actually gets in. And if everybody did stake the max, there'd only be 69 people that are able to even get in. And so when I say highly contested, I mean, yeah, be there, follow the countdown, and, make sure your wallet's connected and everything, and that you're click and lock right away, and try to get in on this. And if you miss it the first week, be quicker the next week. And so it's going to be really fun. And you can't use a bot. You can't send your money directly to the contract. Everybody's going to have to hit the lock and then just go as quickly as they can, So it's a game within the whole system. Just another little fun thing, because that'll get us through 8 weeks where we're building up the group even more, to have more bettors, to have more people playing poker and everything. And then I guess the final thing that's really interesting that we could segue into is just the tokenomics. You're seeing the first flash staking ever. You're seeing the first zero fee peer-to-peer system that relies on bet matching, where there's no bookie, and, we're just using the Vegas spreads and stuff. So there's the first there. We're the first ever to have where you buy in and you're entered into the jackpots with the DApp, and you get to see the wheel spin. We have the mini games. On top of all that, obviously, I think we're going to have really unique tokenomics that have never been seen too, right? So we should, yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many different, like that's what I mean. Like you keep getting into new exciting things with the project and like what you guys are. And I think it's pretty interesting to see what the growth of this one has been since you initially came to market with Spin and the original jackpot, right? Just to think where you guys have taken this thing from the starting point is pretty incredible.
Thank you. So we call it revolutionary tokenomics, and that's just, that's kind of part of our homage, the original spin token, it was revolutionary tokenomics, revolutionary where it's a wheel and it's spinning, but it also was brand new. And so the tokenomics are definitely different than from spin, because now we're, trying to focus on being, having these other betting avenues. And so what happens when you lose a bet, you run out of tokens, you need to buy more. So we have a fixed 3% buy tax. It'll always be 3% even at launch. And I don't remember when the last time I saw a bullish launch or any launch necessarily do a low tax on launch, right? They're going to have a high tax on launch. Not necessarily a high tax, but it's going to be a regular tax. Usually it'll be like 10% buy, 10% sell, or 12% buy, 12% sell. And as soon as it pumps, then they're like, all right, now it's 0% buy and 24% sell, because they want to make the money on the taxes on the way up and then make even more on the way down. Like, you're almost anticipating, pumping and dumping in a way, and your tokenomics almost reflect that. And so we want the tokenomics to reflect, just how we believe. We're never going to change the taxes. It's not going to be like, well, what is the slippage today, sir? So we have a 3% buy tax always. And half of it goes to the mega spin and half of it goes to the super spin. So right at launch, these jackpots are going to be filling up. Nothing's going to marketing. Nothing's going to anybody. It's just filling jackpots. Because if nobody ever sold and we just had huge jackpots and just constant buy-in pressure and it looked like a crazy honeypot, we wouldn't need any marketing money, right? It would market itself. And so that's what I kind of tease, because I've been asked that, like, well, what if no one sells? It's like, okay, trust me, people will sell. That's just how it works. You're going to take profits. So the first B&B that you sell every 24 hours is actually going to be taxed at 13%. 13%. Yeah, it's unlucky to sell. Don't sell. But yeah, when you do sell and you're taxed at 13%, that's for the first B&B that you sell every 24 hours. And that's a 10% discount, because our typical sell tax is 23%. But if you only sell one B&B every 24 hours or less, then you're getting a discount of 10% and you're only getting a 13% fee. But if you want to sell more than a B&B, the first B&B will still be taxed at 13%, but the additional B&B that you sell beyond that within a 24-hour period will be taxed at 23%. And so then it's going to give an extra 6% to marketing, an extra 2% to liquidity, and an extra 1% to each of the jackpots. So yeah, we call it anti-dump tokenomics, is that feature there. But so yeah, we have fixed forever taxes, and we have with the anti-dump mechanism in the contract, which is just, yeah, it's taken a lot of testing and it's taken a lot of work, but it works, and it's pretty amazing, if you ask me. And I would say anything that we do is amazing, but so don't ask me, but you guys, what do you think?
I mean, man, like I said, I've really enjoyed the presentation that you guys have put forward. I know I've been listening to all the details that you've been providing for us, because there is a lot that you guys have added in or are looking to bring to the table for Speakeasy versus when you launched back with spins. So obviously the underlying
so much better
concept being the jackpots is still there, and the fact that it is kind of automatically done on the jackpot side of things is phenomenal, and people don't have to worry about kind of buying and then adding a name. It's just automatically done. So that's a huge ease of access, and like not a barrier to entry that you might see in some of these other projects. So yeah, it's just really exciting. I think what you guys are bringing to the table, and as I mentioned, other influencers were pretty bullish on this project when you guys first brought it to market, just based on your concept and partnerships that you guys were looking to pursue. So I don't think anything's really changed. I know we're excited to see how this thing goes. As I mentioned, it's really a community-driven, fun, kind of really is on brand with what speakeasies were back in the 1920s, which is a trust-based social club where you're essentially able to drink, gamble, have fun, but it just at the end of the day is a way to escape kind of the grind from day-to-day life. And that's what Barrett and the team there are really trying to build up. I know I'm excited to see the hype and the community support as you guys go with your first major jackpot, and as you guys actually open up the parlay, which will really start to engage the community more as they're actively, I don't know, a couple games on the go, discussions a little bit more intense. Like that, it just will continue to build, I think, as you guys go live. So it's just 3 days out officially from launch, 2 days from the pre-sale. So guys, at the very least, right now, I'll open it up to some questions now, if you're cool with that, Barrett. But
of course, yeah.
Least, at the end of the day here, you guys should all be jumping in their Telegram channel and following this one along for the pre-sale and the launch, because you don't want to miss any major announcements. It does seem like the community is going to be really hyped. They have some giveaways and stuff going on. So very least, guys, join the Telegram channel after this AMA today, because you're going to want to keep in touch going forward with this project and see some of the exciting announcements they have to drop.
Yeah, no, you said it perfectly. Yeah, I'd love to take some questions, and whatever overflow of questions that we may have, I'm going to open a voice chat afterwards, and you never know when we're giving away extra whitelist spots or tokens.
I know you guys like to. You guys are a betting platform, right? You guys want to be able to. They want as many people in as you can to help with the hype off launch. So let me get some questions in here. We got Rec to Hole. Haven't seen Rec out in a few days, so hopefully he's been having a good week over there.
Hi guys.
Hey, Rec.
Hello.
Hello. I think this is a cool project, and I love your visions, and especially with your poker plans. And I think rebranding with Speakeasy gives this project a lot more potential. It's not fair to compare them, but only to get a picture with Spin, the V1. How many holders and what was the all-time high on that project?
So I think we launched at a $220,000 market cap. All-time high was like 1.4 million, and that was within like the first hour. And then we had major gas issues with the DApp, just because it was just so early in its phase. And it's when you sell, we didn't talk about this, but you actually lose your credits into the jackpots. So as soon as you sell even one token, you lose all of the credits that you have, and so the wheel will actually show like how many people have actually exited the wheel. And, so basically you're getting all of the money that they would have been able to win. And so you're actually getting quite a bit more, it's like, that part's pretty amazing. But the concept of how we were trying to actually sell make it so when they sold, they lost the credits. It was ended up charging the users just more and more gas depending on how many more bets there were. And so if you had just one credit, you would actually end up losing. If you just sold one token, you would, just to remove, let's say you had just one credit in the game, it was like 0.1 BNB worth of gas to sell. And that was in the first hour. And so by the end of the week, that probably would have been half a BNB or a BNB just in gas to sell. And so we had to rework all the algorithms and whatnot. And so now there's no extra gas fees to sell. And so in theory, we were almost doomed from the first hour. And then we just, probably did about 10 different revisions of the jackpot contracts, because our main contract allows us to keep swapping in new jackpot contracts. And we finally perfected the system. So when you say, it's not fair to compare, I mean, it is, but we never even got to see what the potential of just the spin tokenomics could do for a token, just because, and then there was just Coin Market Cap glitched at one point and said we were negative 1,000%. We did Coin Market Cap trending on the day that BNB started rugging. There's just a lot of things that were out of our control. And but so the amount of holders, real holders, probably around 600. And most of all of everything came within those first couple days. Just because, we were, I don't want to say we were cursed, but
Okay, great answer.
No.
I wish
thank you.
Good luck. I think you have a great project over here. So
thanks.
Thanks for the question, Rex. We have coming up next, we got UHB, we got Luis, and we got OK. UHB, how's it going today?
Hi, guys.
Hello.
I just want to get clarity on the sell tax. I understand that the buy tax is 3%. The sell tax in the first 24 hours is 13 if it's less than one BNB. However, I want to understand, is this 24 hours metered from the date of launch or from the date of you actually selling?
Yeah, it's going to look at the cumulative total of how much you've sold in the past 24 hours, and it's going to track that. So in the smart contract, essentially, we're just, yeah.
So it's not from the time of launch. It's actually from the time you first sell.
Yeah, and so it's always going to look at how much this person sold in the last 24 hours. And if that exceeds one BNB, any additional beyond the one BNB will be charged at 23%. So, for example, I say I only ever sell one time. I sell 2 BNB. It's actually going to be 18% tax. You know, because my first BNB is at 13, my second BNB is at 23%, and so you're going to have your slippage set to accommodate for an 18% tax.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it hasn't been done before, but yeah, it's an experiment.
Yeah, I like it.
And we just want to incentivize people to scale. You know, are you able to just sell? You know, if everybody just sold one BNB a day, you know, to take their profits, and they didn't dump on the chart, then it's not going to look like it's rugging. Like, oh my God, just 8 BNB were sold, and then someone else is like, oh shit, you know, I got to sell because I know when I see 8 BNB sell that, you know, another guy's going to sell, and it's going to start a sell cascade, right? But if everybody was like, hey, you know what, I respect this project and I like it, I'm going to just scale my bag, like, you know, like a nice gentleman, and you know, in the ye old times, you know, just and I think what people will see is how it doesn't hurt the chart, and that means that when you sell another BNB the next day and another BNB the next day, you're probably actually going to get more for your BNB that you sold the next day than you did the first day. I mean, not going to get more, but you're going to sell less tokens to sell that same amount of BNB because you didn't kill the chart, and you're letting us, you know, let all of our marketing and all of our efforts will just be better. You know, and obviously that's just kind of a dream, right? But we're doing our best to incentivize that by giving people a 10% discount on that first BNB.
And I mean, it's unique, and it's something that people haven't seen. I mean, you see people do it after launch or for like a period after launch, where they'll be like, okay, it'll slide down X every day or X every couple hours or X every, you know, until it hits like our predetermined sell levels. And I mean, obviously you guys have seen it. When it hits that level, people dump, right? It's just like the waiting game. So I think that what you guys are doing on a long-term approach to try and, I mean, essentially what I try and tell people, which is take out your initial, if you want, a little bit of profits, and then your emotional attachment to investment is going to drastically reduce, and you're going to be able to be more willing to ride that wave and those ups and downs because you're not essentially losing anything. You're losing unrealized profits, but profits are profits. That's what people need to go. Like if you're in profit already, yes, nobody likes to lose money, but if you're in profit already and you see like a 30% drop, like you don't have to sell it because you already made your initial back, right? So like that's I love what you guys are doing. And then if somebody did want to say sell a little bit because there was a dip and they wanted to get some money, you guys are incentivizing people to not kill the chart. And if they do decide to exit the project entirely, I mean, that is why we live in a free market. They have the choice to do whatever they want, but you guys will, as a project, benefit from that through the reflections, right? So.
And the tax isn't even that high. Like if you take a 23%, you know, if you were pretending our entire sell tax was 23% and our buy tax is 3%, that's going to be a 26% round trip. That's the same as 13% buy, 13% sell. But if you're taking advantage of the scaling discount, then what's going to happen is you're going to end up paying 8% buy, 8% sell if you want to look at it like that. So I don't see a lot of tokens that are under 10% taxes these days. So. Yeah,
you're not wrong there.
Yeah.
So we got Luis here up next. Luis, how is it going today?
Hello. Luis, are you with us?
I got you unmuted, Luis. If you wanted to just get your mic unmuted on your end, you should be able to get your question in.
Check 1, 2.
Luis, are you there? All right. Don't know. Oh, there we go. I think I just heard. There we go.
Like my question go like this. Like I want to ask, like what brought about, like what inspired you to bring about this token?
What inspired me to build this token?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. I mean, just been a part of like some really successful projects. Been on the teams. I've been a part of some really bad projects. Where as an investor, and as I've been learning into navigating through the BSC space and whatnot, I just wanted to take. I needed a creative outlet to like put all the ideas and things that I have. I love engaging the community and my team, and I love brainstorming. I just love that you can do so much. And it's just, I don't know, it's like starting a company and it's like doing all these things at the same time. But if you build the perfect, if they build it, they will come, and it just was this just vision that just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and all based on just like what's fun for me. It's just a lot of fun. And, sometimes like, if you can't bet on others, you can at least bet on yourself. And I know that it's a safe project where I would, invite my friends and family and these people too. And it's just there's a lot of great projects out there. And I just wanted to be one of them, where it's like, this is something that you're guaranteed safe in, yet you're not going to, get rugged or these kind of things. That's usually like the worst part, or the dev like, oh, it's sorry guys, I got to go on vacation now. Or, oh, I'm just gone all of a sudden, or, they lose like focus and stuff on the team. Like, it's like, if I wanted to create something that I would want to invest in if I were, a holder, and that, yeah.
All right, thanks. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the knowledge.
You're welcome.
Thank you much, please. So we have Crypto Thesis up next. Crypto, how's it going today, my man?
Okay. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Crypto Thesis.
I like the name.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. My
There we go. I
question
got you
is,
down at the bottom there, Crypto. Hopefully the mic is okay. I see you're unmuted. I just can't hear your voice right now.
okay, but can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Could just be a Telegram thing. Thesis, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Turn my headphones up. Check.
Doesn't seem like we're having any luck, unfortunately, with Thesis right now.
Can you hear me now?
Could just be Telegram issue. If you had a question, don't hesitate. Also, I'm going to just, before we do trivia, I wanted to go back and double check the comment section. Oh, yeah, thanks, guys. Whoever came in there and decided they wanted to spam something about Lady Wag Me. You're all getting
Lady
banned from
Wag
the
Me?
channel. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
no.
all getting banned from the channel, so that sucks for all those shares. They're gone for life. So, unfortunately, they're going to miss out on some good calls going forward.
No bueno.
No, I know. I'm just. I used to be like, you know what? If you do like a one mention of a project, I used to be like pretty cool with it. But now, like, people are coming in. The second I see one project mentioned once, the second is mentioned another time, everybody who mentions it is banned for life. I'm removing them from the channel. So
It's bullish.
I don't have the patience for it anymore. I mean, people need to understand. We put out like look at the projects that we put out, like you guys have been working on this for some time. We don't need somebody to come in just to shill another project when we're talking about this one. So,
well, I'm sure they have great utility. No, I'm sure Lady Wagme is a good project as well. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Sounds good.
No, that's
like
what I mean. I just don't. It's like, yeah, they're out, right? So,
yeah.
hopefully, we're having some issues with some people hearing about the AM. Okay, no, everybody seemed to be able to connect. I will say, if anybody has problems, I know that issue or the update that they pushed out on Monday for Telegram has been really not the best. Especially
I had to uninstall and reinstall.
Yeah, I did that,
Yeah.
and I actually just decided I went back to an older version of Telegram because it had better functionality for me on my phone. So I actually did that. So like I've been suggesting that as well to people if they're having any issues connecting, hearing the audio, video, or getting dropped from the calls. I do say try and maybe switch back to an older version. I think that seemed to help me pretty well. But we have some fun trivia questions. So that's the kind of the tail end part of all of our AMAs are the fun trivia that we do with the community and with yourself about the project. So I was just checking through the questions there. We have okay here. If you're good for 2 more questions, we have 2 more hands up. I said okay at the beginning and he put his hand down, but he's back up. Okay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
Great hearing from you today.
Yeah, sure. I feel bullish on this. I just want to find out with the project. If I want to be like a collector of the cars you have, the NFT cars, how do you go about it? Not playing the game, just to collect. How do you go about it?
We don't have any NFTs, sir. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so from the website, I'm seeing Neon Night Drive. It says there's play to earn. It's a play to earn game. You have
You're wrong project, bro.
Oh, okay, all right, sure. Then that's fine.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
All right, we'll get Ryan up here. Ryan, how's it going today?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so I just have a quick question about the functionality of the, like, is this more of a mobile website thing, or like are the functions the same on like a mobile web browser, or like, because my thing is, like, if I'm at the bar and then I want to, you said you guys will do like live game betting, like, you know, how would I be able to use the site like while I'm on the go is what I'm asking basically.
Yeah. Let me just share. I'll share my screen real quick again. I mean, everything is just lagging like crazy because this Windows update. It's doing it actively while I'm doing this, and I'm just like, it makes me kind of bummed. So I'm not. Oh, shoot. It's okay. So it's sharing my screen now, right? So everything is. I'm not sure. Is it showing the mobile version of it now or no?
Oh, okay. Basically, like the same layout.
Yeah, everything is mobile friendly. Yeah, and it's all optimized and stuff. It's showing it that way. Yeah, and so it's a little bit silly here, but so I can scroll through and then it'll show like the big bet list. And so the parlay dApp's going to be working the same. Completely mobile optimized. And one of the things too that's going to be interesting is that we're going to the betting rounds are going to be starting like a day or two before, so everybody's going to have time to get in their bets. Because we can accept the spread probably like 2 days before. It's probably not going to change right before the game, and so we're just going to lock in a spread and open up the smart contract for everybody to like start placing their bets. So you'll be able to have it in, and there's really nothing you need to do. And whenever you get home, you can come withdraw your winnings, and there'll be no like time limit or whatever on doing that. So yeah,
sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Ryan. Appreciate you coming out. So we have Diamonds up next. That's what I'm going to call you. Diamonds, how's it going? I can't get the hand unmuted. I saw the hand up earlier, but it won't let me unmute your hand. So I don't know if it's maybe just Telegram being Telegram, but we have Thesis here. Maybe I'll see if we can get Thesis up for that question. Thesis, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me now? Yep. Can you hear me?
Hey, Thesis, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Second time was not the charm.
Wow.
We'll get to Jesse
Wow.
in. Jesse, how's it going?
Jesse. Feeling bullish about Jesse's question here.
We got Jesse at the bottom. Jesse, got you unmuted. You should just be able to flip it on your end, and you're good to go. Hey, Jesse, I got you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? This is Tessie speaking.
I don't know if anybody just got a message from Des saying, think you might be having a Telegram issue. I can hear. Oh, he said Thesis is talking. Can you hear Thesis?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
No.
Thesis is talking.
No, neither can I.
Can you hear me?
Des has
Can
good
you hear me?
internet, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
Thanks for
Can
letting
you
me
hear
know,
me?
Des. I can't hear him.
Okay.
Neither can Barrett. That is super weird. Never had that happen before.
Maybe he could type the question.
Yeah, if you wanted to, Thesis,
You
just
can
throw
hear
your
us?
question in the comment section there. I'll jump back over. Give me 2 seconds to pull it up. All right, I'm in there now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, everybody says they can hear him.
What?
Gotta love it. Because I see Thesis there, but yeah, we can't hear him, but the channel can. That is super weird. I can't hear server either. But
Why is it just us?
I don't know. Let me. Hello?
Hello?
Nope, nothing. I still don't see Thesis speaking or anything like that. It's just me.
Yeah, okay.
Me and you still.
Okay.
That is
Can you
weird.
hear me? Can you hear
That
me?
is super weird.
I
love Telegram. Anyways, so if you guys are having issues, like you guys can still obviously type the questions in the comment section, and I can obviously just read them out.
Okay,
But I
okay.
don't know why Telegram is being so buggy today. I've never had this happen before to me.
And you say we're doing some sort of trivia?
Yeah, we have trivia as well that I can.
Should we restart the call maybe and see what happens? Or
yeah, I jumped out and jumped back in. I have no idea what's going on. Apparently, people. Yeah, it's a mix. Some people can, some people can't. It's weird. But we can go for the trivia. If he doesn't want to type the question in the comment section at this point, guys, I can't hear him. So, I mean, I don't know what you want me to do about it. Like, Telegram, being Telegram. I don't know what else to tell you at that point. So I think we're just going to get into the trivia questions here. Oh, Telegram. So we have 3 questions here about the project. So let me jump in first. So the questions are all done. The answers to the questions are all done in the comment section there of the voice chat opening post. So if you guys can go and find that, I think it should be the 3rd post up from the bottom on the channel. So go and jump into the comment section there, guys. Now, All right. Okay, first question. How long after you buy does the small wheel spin?
Within 24 hours. I mean, so you're going to either buy in within minutes before the spin, or you're going to buy in minutes after the spin, or anywhere in between. So you're always going to have one spin within the first 24 hours, give or take. Not give or take, just within 24 hours, just depending on if you buy it right before the spin or right after the spin. And then you're always going to be in the weekly spin as well.
Awesome.
That was trivia? Did I just answer the trivia question? Oh my god!
Yeah, but we had answers first.
Okay.
We had answers first before you elaborated on it for everybody. That's okay. That's okay.
So funny.
So that one looks to be UAB 24 hours. Man, Telegram just killing me lately. So next question, guys. Give me 2 seconds. All right, next question. What would your tax be if you sold 2 BNB? Think it was Dej. As you mentioned, for the first BNB, it's going to be 13%. And for the second BNB, it's going to be 23%. So if you guys average it out on a 2 BNB sell, it's 18%. Because the full 2 BNB is not taxed at 23% unless it were be your second 2 BNB sale of the day or within a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
So it is 18%. So that is Dej.
32%. Where did this guy get that? Come on, minimum. We don't exceed 23% tax.
So last question here. So I have a couple. Which one do I want to actually type in? Let's go with this.
Yeah, this trivia is a lot of fun.
All right. So when will their pre-sale date be? Date
Kiki
and time, and
Kiki just laid it out right there.
Kiki is in there early. Okay, Kiki, you got it. February 7th at 5 p.m. UTC.
That's quick.
There you go. Awesome. So we got that. Drake line at the bottom. Yo, Kiki, do you love me? Awesome. So we let's do how many do we get for participation? 7 questions. I did include crypto thesis because I know he was trying to get a question in there. Okay, so we got 7. I typically like to do 0.1 for every 5, so we're a little bit under. So we'll do the extra 0.1 that we have to give out in another trivia question. So if you wanted to go ahead and give a trivia question to the channel, something a bit more detailed, I think, about the project would be great. Try and make it a little bit more technical if you could. And then I'll watch the comment section, and this will be the last trivia question. And then also I do the 0.1 BNB random draw giveaway for anybody who came out and asked the question and participated.
All right, yeah. What percentage of the supply can be staked in total for flash staking at any 1 week period?
They're quick. They're like sending us a breakdown of the tokenomics.
Yeah, they had that copy pasted. No answers here. Oh, 6.9. It was Dej again. So I don't know if that counts. Even
somebody. Oh, wrecked. You can't win twice. Whoever's quickest to get the answer up there second wins. So there you go, wrecked to hole.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, it's 6.9%. It's a total of 690 million tokens can be staked. And so as soon as 690 million or 6.9% of the token supply is staked, that the pool is closed. It's 100% filled. And those lucky people who got in get to have 1,000% APR for the week. And then it ends, and then the next pool starts in 24 hours. So and people get the shot at it again. So definitely, if you get in on the project, try to, if you're lucky enough to get in on the pre-sale, maybe your same luck will apply to getting into staking.
And yeah, you mentioned that it will be running for, I believe, 6 weeks, correct?
8 weeks. 8 weeks. And it's fun that the 6.9% and all of that, it actually ends up being exactly 10% is which we've set aside for it. It's like 9.9% of the supply ends up being given out during those 8 weeks. So the 69 numbers and stuff, it all just ended up being like, that is the perfect round number for the math. And so it was kind of funny. It wasn't meant to be as mean. So it's a little bit mean, but it's also just how it all worked out, which was kind of coincidental.
Yeah, I was just say it's kind of a unique number.
Yeah.
Well, I will let me just get everything together here for my closing statements. So officially, guys, I just wanted to thank everyone in the community so much for sticking around and hanging out with Barrett, learning about this project. I know the team's been working tirelessly, sorry, that's the right word, on this one to get it ready. As we touched on, they did bring Spin to market, but I think really what they're looking to do with Speakeasy as a project and as a community-centric project, as the focal point, will be really unique, and they are really looking to grow this thing. Bear's been working on this tirelessly. Like you mentioned, they have some cool partnerships, such as the one he touched on with HedgePay, to bring in a new concept such as flash staking into this for an 8-week period, a good return on your APR if you do that 1 week lock. And it runs in, I believe it's 1 week period, it's 24-hour delay, and then another week period, if I'm not mistaken, from what you said initially. And 1,000% APR over those 1 week return periods. So obviously pretty strong return. It is not a full-time utility. It is a partnership they've entered into to create more hype and get more users in off the beginning. And obviously if you do choose to stake, you're going to be earning some pretty good returns on that. So it's just a benefit for those that believe in the project, that are looking to stick around long-term. And I think once the parlay betting DApp comes into full effect, that's really going to help you guys take off. As you said, that's going to be where you're going to be able to start drawing and building that community focus from. So yeah, just really exciting times ahead here for the team at Speakeasy. As we said, pre-sales the 7th at 5 p.m. UTC, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard for anybody who lives in my time zone. And then the launch, I believe, is 24 hours after, correct? On the 8th.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So guys, as I'll pass it over to Barrett for closing remarks, but just really excited to see this thing take off. As I mentioned, some other influencers in the space were pretty bullish on their first go, just with the zero fee betting platform. So excited to see the next stage going forward.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Maurice. Yeah, you've done a phenomenal job at you're saying so many of the things that I don't have to keep repeating myself or saying this stuff. Like that was a great recap. I just want to just say thank you, and yeah, I really am excited for the launch, and I really just think that this was just one of my favorite AMAs so far. Just yeah, you're a great host, and thank you.
Man, well, I know Caesar and, like I said, Venom worked with you before, and they were both really bullish on what you're building and just kind of your personality and what you're building up over there. So thanks so much for the time, man. You have yourself a great rest of your Saturday over there, and we'll be in touch. I'll send you a recording right after we're done.
All right, man. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
I'm going to be live in my own voice chat over at the, whatever, Telegram/Speakeasy token, just all one word. I see some of the team members already there and the voice chat talking to some people. So if anyone else had any extra questions, hopefully Telegram might be working better over there. And we'll see you there.
Let's hope.
All right.
All right. Have
Take
a good
care.
one, man.
All right, bye.
Take care.